I saw a man die in front of a courtroom full of people, and no one did a thing. He stood up, said one sentence, and then dropped like something ripped his soul out. The judge just told us to clear the body. We sat there, shaking, like it was normal, like it happens all the time. Maybe it does. That was the day I learned that the law is not what they say it is. And some courts are meant to give justice. They're meant to bury it. Let me tell you what really happened in Ironwood County. I grew up in a small southern town most people never heard of. Dirt roads, rusted signs, folks too tired to fight. My name's Isaiah. People used to call me Zay. Born in Ironwood. Raised by my grandma after my parents vanished when I was 5. The story was they left town. Took off. Couldn't handle the small town life. But the old folks whispered different. They said my parents got too close to the courthouse. And in Ironwood, that meant you were gone. Not dead, just gone. The courthouse was always strange. Built in 1889. Big black stone walls. No one knows where they brought the stone from. The color was wrong. Not brick, not concrete. Almost like charred wood, but cold to the touch. It had windows on the first 2 floors. But the top floor? Solid wall. No windows. No air vents. And no sound. People say if you stare too long at the flag outside, you'll feel sick. That flag never stops moving. Even when there's no wind. When I turned 25, money got tight. Grandma's health got worse. Hospital bills stacked up. That's when I got the job offer. Clerk at the Ironwood Courthouse. Decent pay for a nobody like me. I didn't want to. Every bone in my body said no. But what choice did I have? First day on the job, the bailiff, a man named Rourke, gave me a look. The kind of look that's not a warning, like it's a threat. Keep your head down, kid, he said. Don't ask questions. If a case comes in with a red folder, you didn't see it. I thought it was some messed up courthouse lingo. A joke, maybe. But it wasn't. Most days were boring. Filing papers. Typing court transcripts. Fixing coffee. But once in a while, a red folder would land on my desk. When that happened, everything changed. The building got quiet. Dead quiet. Even the humming of the lights seemed to stop. It was like the whole courthouse held its breath. The first red folder I saw was for Curtis Bell. Black man. Mid-40s. Former Marine. No record. His charge? Resisting procedure. That was it. I remember Curtis standing in front of the judge, confused. I don't know what this is. I filed a complaint about my neighbor. That's all. The judge, a man named Albert Greaves, cold eyes, no smile, said flatly, "This is not a place for complaints. Only obedience." Then Curtis started choking. No one touched him. He dropped. Hard. Body convulsing. Then still, the judge slammed the gavel. Clear the body. Next. The way he said it like it was routine. Like it wasn't even human. I wanted to run. But nobody else moved. Like they had seen this before. That night, I went home and tried to find Curtis Bell in the system. No records. No arrest. No case number. As if he never existed. But I remembered him. His face. His voice. That's when I started to dig. Quietly and carefully. Over the next few months, I found patterns. Dozens of names. All tied to red folders. Most of them black. Some poor whites. All of them had one thing in common. They went against the town. Filed complaints. Challenged land seizures. Or tried to expose corruption. And then, gone. No records. No graves. Just gone. One case that stuck with me was a woman named Alma Rhodes. She had sued the county for wrongfully detaining her son. He was supposed to be out in 6 months. They kept him for 2 years. No charges. No trial. Alma asked too many questions. I found her red folder. No details inside. Just one word stamped in red ink. Processed. I tried to talk to another clerk, Maria. She was older, Been there longer. When I asked about the red folders, she didn't even blink. They watch everything, she whispered. Her hands were shaking. I tried to quit once. The next day, my brother disappeared. Be smart, Isaiah. I decided to quit anyway. Send in my notice. Pack my things. The next morning, my front door was wide open. All my files, gone. But on my kitchen floor was a picture of my grandma. Cracked, like someone smashed it with a fist. Message received. I went back to work. But now I was watching them too. One late night, I found myself in the courthouse basement. Most people avoided it, said it was cursed. But curiosity's a dangerous thing. Inside the basement was a locked room with steel door, keypad access. I waited and watched as a janitor punched in a code. When he left, I slipped in before the door shut. The room was cold, damp, smelled like wet concrete. Inside were shelves stacked with VHS tapes, each labeled by year. I grabbed one written 1998. That night, I watched it. The tape showed a trial. A boy, no older than 13, stood in front of the same judge, tears in his eyes. Off camera, a woman screamed, "He's just a child." The judge didn't flinch. Children still disobey, and the boy dropped. Same way Curtis did. Same way they all did. That was when I realized that these weren't trials. They were ritual sacrifices. The courthouse wasn't a place for justice. It was a machine, and every red folder fed it. I took my findings to the FBI, brought photos, names, tapes. They barely looked at them. One agent smirked. Ironwood? That's not real. That land's been federal since 1974. Nothing's there. I showed him maps. His smile faded, but his words didn't change. You're wasting your time, son. When I got home, my apartment was gone, burned to the ground. Arson investigators said it was faulty wiring, but my gut knew better. The only thing that survived was my grandma's rocking chair. No scorch marks. Untouched, like someone placed it there after. That night, I left Ironwood. Drove for hours. Didn't stop till I crossed state lines. But even now, years later, they still watch me on marked cars. Same model, same plate, always a few cars behind. Engine running, lights off and waiting. I started sharing my story online. At first, small forums, conspiracy boards, then Reddit. Most people call me crazy, but some knew. I got DMs from people in other lost towns, places wiped from official maps. All had stories of courthouses like Ironwood, same black stone, same red folders, same judge, different name, and same cold eyes. It wasn't just Ironwood. One night, while scrolling through old county records, I found a newspaper clipping. 1903, headline, Judge found dead in Seal Courthouse. The photo showed the same judge I knew, Albert Greaves. Same face, same stare. But the article was over 100 years old. It said he was appointed in 1891, found dead in 1903. Body never aged. Autopsy inconclusive. That's when I knew that this wasn't corruption. This wasn't human. The courthouse was feeding on people, feeding on voices, and every complaint, every challenge, every cry for help, silenced and turned into another red folder, processed and forgotten. I live far from Ironwood now, changed my name, but sometimes late at night, my phone buzzes. No caller ID, and when I answer, there's only one sound, a gavel hitting wood, 3 times. Slow, deliberate message received. So if you're watching this right now, remember, not every courthouse serves justice. Some serve something older, something that doesn't care about laws or rights. Some towns aren't on the map for a reason, and some flags don't move with the wind, but they watch everything. And if I disappear like Curtis Bell, like my parents, and like all the others, hopefully you'll know why.